Karacho at Erlebnispark Tripsdrill is the Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster that was the best coaster of the park until it got competition in 2020 when Hals über Kopf opened. But is it still the best coaster at the park, and how good is it really? In this video I will share my thoughts of this coaster and tell you all about it. I first rode this coaster back in 2020 when I went to Tripsdrill for the first time. Back then I didn't like this coaster nearly as much as Hals über Kopf, but in August 2021 I got one rewrite that changed my mind. This coaster usually has the longest wait since the capacity is not that good. If the line stretches outside of the main queue line, you could wait up to 40 minutes and even additional 15 minutes if you choose the front row. The layout includes 4 very good inversions, a banger launch and some okay turns. It is landscaped very nicely and it even features a tunnel and many photogenic spots. The layout overall is pretty strong, but it definitely has some dead spots. A good example is the helix before the dive loop. This helix has some mild forces, but it mainly exists to line the track up with the dive loop and to burn off speed. Now this ride can be a hit or miss based on which train you ride in. All of them have a very noticeable rattle except for the dark green train. I don't know if it was just lucky, but this train ran amazing when I rode it. It ran butter smooth as if the coaster just opened. However, the rattle from the other rides I did in 2020 were really not that bad. So I wanna take a few seconds and talk about the 3 sections I really enjoyed. The pre-launch barrel roll has some very good hang time and sometimes feels really disorienting due to the pitch black setting. Next I want to talk about this launch. The launch is amazing and I always had to laugh because this launch is just so good. Additionally, being launched out of a tunnel is also really awesome. Lastly, I want to quickly mention that dive loop. It's one of my favorite inversions I experienced yet. It's very whippy and forceful in the valley. Sometimes I even grey out down there. Now, since this coaster only has 2 rows per train, it doesn't really matter in which row you sit since the forces are almost identical. But I strongly recommend you try out the different seat locations from left to right since the rides can be very different. In outer seats, the lateral forces on the top head and the dive loop are more noticeable. For the top head, I recommend riding in the outer right seats for the full potential of laterals, both on the dive loop and the top head. Now, the theming of this coaster is also really cool. I don't fully understand it, so maybe you can teach me about this in the comments below. With the theme comes a soundtrack by Score, which, just like the Rockbook soundtracks, are really good. It has a memorable melody and some great use of sound from mechanical tools incorporated into the track. The seats are exceptionally comfortable and they are one of my favorite types of roller coaster seats. The lap bars are also really good and they are also one of my favorites. I just like Intamin's lap bars a little bit more because they lock into place and don't get tighter during the ride. Overall, I have to say that Karacho is a really good coaster and I really enjoyed every ride I had, and I can't wait to ride more Gerstlauer Infinity Coasters like Junker, Gold Rush and Fury. Thank you all for watching this mini review of Karacho. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and maybe even subscribe for more of these mini reviews and other videos in the future. Lastly, make sure to check out my Instagram for updates on future videos and No Limits 2 projects. Thank you all for watching. Swiss Coaster Enthusiast out.